Mm. We have generally a wrong notion that Tantra means black magic. The so called propagators of Vedas always ridicules the Tantra and give wrong interpretations of Tantras. Tantra is also an equally qualified path of this country as Vedas. In Vedas, they teach philosophy, but in Tantra, there is philosophy as well as practice. In Vedas, they make so many conditions to learn or practice Vedic principles. Vedas are consist of many things, and finally it comes to Vedanta. When they preach Vedanta, there is only one practice in Vedanta, that is Shravana, Manana and Nididhyasana. Shravana means hearing, Manana means pondering upon, and Nididhyasana is attaining that state. For that, the person who practices Veda, he should be qualified, he should be highly educated, he should understand, read and understand the Vedantic principles. But in Tantra, Tantra is for common man, layman, and he can also practice Tantra. In Vedas, if you want to practice Veda, they prescribe 16 samskaras. That is called Shodasha samskaras in Vedas. The person who has to study or learn or understand Vedic principles, he should definitely have 16 samskaras, and that so called 16 samskaras can be achieved by caste Brahmin. They won't allow any others to give the 16 samskaras. But in Tantra, we don't prescribe any of the samskaras. We prescribe Diksha from the Sadguru. The qualification of a disciple is to approach a Guru and a Sadguru and acquire the proper Diksha and practice it. So in Vedas, tasmat shastram pramanande, they say like that. The Shastras are the pramanas for their life. But in Tantra, it is Guru Vakyam Pramanam. Whatever the Shastras might have said, whatever the text have said, whatever they have learned, that is not very important. The Guru's words are very important. However, a Guru guides an aspirant, guides a Shishya, he will reach the supreme reality. So in Tantra there are three things. One is Guru Bhakti, the complete attachment and dedication towards the Guru and constant practice. And the third is the Sambandha, the relationship with the Devata, by which you attained your own self. So Tantra is also a path like Vedas to reach the supreme self or the universal self. But many people misinterpret it, many people make use of it for money, many people misguide people, and they created lot of chaos. And in the process of this Brahminical cry and hue of this country, the Tantra was not properly interpreted or not properly practiced. So, in Tantric philosophy, we deal with Shiva and Shakti. What is Shiva? What is Shakti? These are the two energetic principles, even in science they are used: the kinetic energy and the static energy. The static energy is Shiva, that doesn't move at all. When that moves, it turns into kinetic form, that is Shakti. That is why it is told, when Shiva is approachable, Shiva is quiet, Shiva is calm and all that. But Shakti is very ferocious. Any energy, when it moves, it becomes ferocious. So, this Tantra deals with the energy which is in us, that is the static energy in us and the kinetic energy in us, as well as the static energy in this universe and the kinetic energy in this universe. That is why Shankara very clearly said in his Saundarya Lahari, Shiva Shaktya Yukto Yedi Bhavadi Shakti Prabhavidum. When Shiva and Shakti come together, then only the creation and sustaining and laya, destruction happens. So that is already in us. So we have an intellectual quantum as well as an emotional quantum. That is why the science says we have two brains, left brain and right brain. So this intellectual quantum deals with the Shiva and the emotional quantum deals with Shakti. So without this balance of these two principles, this intellectual quantum and emotional quantum, no man will be a successful person. So that is the Sankalpa what we have, Ardhanarishwara. So every woman there is Shiva, every man there is Shakti. So how we practice the tantric way of practices, and we have to take out that power, then we will understand what we are. So this is the basic principle of Shiva and Shakti. This is the basic principle of Tantra also. That is why we worship Linga and we worship Yoni. So you may see in many Shiva temples, Linga is worshipped. Linga is the, what you call that, Linga is the Purusha and Yoni is Shakti, that is three. So when these two come together, then Purusha and Prakriti, when Shiva and Shakti unite together, then the creation starts. So any creation, there should be Purusha and Prakriti. Even in our thoughts, even in our mind, even in our brain, any new thing has to come out. Your emotional quantum and intellectual quantum has to work together. A person with only intellectual quantum will not be able to sustain, or a person who has only emotional quantum, he will not be able to sustain himself. So we have both the balance of this. The same way, that is why outwardly it is shown as Shiva and Shakti, Purusha and Prakriti, Linga and Yoni. So now in Tantra, we use three methods. We have three things. One is Tantra, another is Mantra, then Yantra. What is Tantra? Tantra is the technology, how we perform things. That is the technology. And Mantra is the syllables. And Yantra is the vessel which is we use it for. Now, We say we inhale oxygen. Who had named that oxygen as the name is oxygen? It is an air. So we have named it as oxygen and we write O2. Same way we have hydrogen. So we name it as H. We use the syllable as H. So hydrogen and oxygen, it become water. We write as H2O. The same way, the Bija mantras which is used in Tantra, it is only as syllables to understand the universal concept of Shiva and Shakti. That is the place of mantra. Many people say that mantra will not work, how mantra will work and all that. Mantras are the capsule form of the power of the universe or power in you. So, and the third one is yantra. That is what we see in temples, vigrahas. We use chakras. We use very many form of worshipping objects. These are all considered as yantras. So, tantra consists of these things. First is tantra itself. Tantra means technology. Second is mantra, that is syllables. And yantra, that is the things which we use for worship. So all these three together make a unit of worshipping. So worshipping is external thing is not very important. Worshipping of the internal source which is in us has to be taken out by this.